In the past few months, the streets of the Santa Fe Hills neighborhood in San Marcos have been filled with a sound many of us know all too well: a law enforcement helicopter broadcasting an indecipherable message.
Whenever that happens, all the neighbors flock to Nextdoor to say, hey, what's the helicopter saying? Because no one can usually understand what it's saying. In some cases, people have heard armed and dangerous in which it wasn't someone armed and dangerous.
San Marcos resident Kevin Meekum is talking about a website called Nextdoor.com. It's sort of like Facebook, except people have to prove who they are and where they live, and can only see posts from people who live nearby. The website is meant to build neighborhood communities, which is what Meekum was hoping for when he joined a few years ago. He says it's worked great.
We've organized 3 potlucks already, a gigantic national night out. We've helped neighbors find lost dogs. We've helped fight crime too.
Meekum's group has become like a virtual neighborhood watch, posting about the helicopters and other crime reports. They even helped one of his neighbors find her stolen car. So Meekum got in touch with his local law enforcement agency, the San Diego Sheriff's Department. He emailed Sheriff spokeswoman Jan Caldwell to ask if they'd post updates and information on the website, and she said no.
As someone that's supposed to interface with the public, she showed no interest in doing so whatsoever.
After KPBS asked about the issue, we heard from San Marcos Sheriff's Captain Scott Ibarrando. He says he'll now look into the website and could post some information there, but not crime alerts or breaking news updates.
If you look at how many neighborhoods are within San Diego County, we're all the way out from Borrego to Fallbrook, Vista. The best avenue is at our communication center, which is in Kearney Mesa, to push out real-time information.
Captain Ibarrando called Meekum to say he'd connect him with someone in the sheriff's department who could give him information to post. He also says they'll look into making the speakers on the helicopter louder. While Nextdoor is meant to connect neighbors on lots of different issues, it's also focused on creating connections between residents and law enforcement. So says Kathy Stadler, a Nextdoor field manager in San Diego.
We have had members that have sent in private messages with tips about, houses that are having drugs sold from them, and then the police are able to act on those and make arrests and clean up the area.
Nextdoor has teamed up with the La Mesa, Carlsbad, and San Diego police departments. San Diego officer Matthew Tortorella, who runs the program, says they do post breaking news, unlike the sheriff's department.
It also gives the neighbors and the residents in that division a chance to actually reach out to an officer. Maybe not literally face-to-face, but virtually face-to-face. They can have direct communication and ask questions that maybe they wouldn't feel free just to come down to the police station just to ask an officer.
Recently, a resident sent a tip to a police officer about a suspicious car in the neighborhood.
It turns out to be a stolen vehicle. And in addition, after conducting a more intense investigation, that vehicle had been used in a series of commercial burglaries in that area. So it was really a key piece of evidence into a crime spree.
The website is free to use, but eventually Nextdoor hopes to make money by running ads for local businesses. Meekum says if they make unwelcome changes, he can switch to another website.
Now we're at least introduced with one another. So if we decide to jump ship at some point and use a different platform or a homemade platform, at least we now know one another and know how to coordinate something like that.
In the meantime, Meekum is hopeful the sheriff's department comes around and agrees to meet him and his neighbors where they are already gathering online.
This isn't me saying, why aren't you guys doing this? It's me saying, hey, look what we discovered. This is amazing and it's helpful. We'd like you to take a look.
Claire Tregesser, KPBS News.